First tonight, a verdict reached in the trial of a man who caused a school bus crash that killed an 11-year-old boy. Hermanio Joseph was just found guilty of vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter.
Now, Joseph was speeding when he veered into a school bus on the first day of school last year. Aiden Clark was killed and several other children hurt when that bus slid off the road and then overturned.
Lydia Bice in court today when that verdict was read. This is obviously an emotional day for everybody involved.
That's right. The family of Aiden Clark was ushered into the courtroom today right before the verdict was read. Deputies did block them from the media's view while the verdict was being read and then immediately ushered them back out. Hermanio Joseph had family in attendance off and on throughout the trial, but they were not there today for the verdict.
Verdict form count 2. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Hermanio Joseph, guilty of vehicular homicide. Verdict form count 1. We, the jury, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Hermanio Joseph, guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
36-year-old Hermanio Joseph found guilty after veering into a school bus back on August 22nd, resulting in the death of 11-year-old Aiden Clark. This video showing the moments the bus was hit by Joseph's SUV, then running off the road before flipping on its side. Today in court, Joseph took the stand, trying to explain what happened, saying the sun was in his eyes.
Is that why you put your visor down?
It's the sun that hit my eyes, that caused the accident. Est-ce que c'est pour ça on mettait?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did the visor help any?
Est-ce que autovisor? There was a little curb, I saw the car coming, but the sun hit my eyes and I did not have the opportunity, to...
Prosecutors dispute his story, saying he was speeding and negligent. They also say Joseph didn't have a valid driver's license, something he admitted on the witness stand.
On August the 22nd of 2023, the date of the accident, did you have a valid Ohio driver's license?
Le 22 août 2000, no, I had the Mexico license.
Did you have a valid license from any other state in the United States on the date of the accident?
No, I did not.
After this questioning, it was time for closing arguments. The prosecution went first.
At the start of the trial, I told everybody here that but for the defendant's negligence, Aiden Clark would still be alive.
Then the defense.
There is no doubt that this is a tragic event. No one, and I mean no one, likes to see a child die. And there is such a thing called an accident.
Once again, Joseph was found guilty of vehicular homicide and involuntary manslaughter. His sentencing is scheduled for May 21st at 10 a.m., and he could face at least 11 years in prison. Back to you.
Lydia, thank you. And of course, we've been keeping you up to date since that crash happened. You can find all of our coverage right now at Dayton247now.com.
Investigation also underway tonight after 2 bodies were found inside of a Champaign County home. The sheriff's office calling the deaths suspicious. Gwyneth Falloon joining us now live from that scene. What can you tell us about what happened here?
Adam, I'm here at the intersection of East State Route 29 and Yankee Hill Road, just a few miles to the west of Mechanicsburg. Now, we don't have too many details at this time, but you can actually see the home in question right here behind me. Now, the county sheriff's office says the homeowner of this house called 911 just before 10 this morning, telling dispatchers she walked in and found 2 men she believed were dead under, quote, suspicious circumstances. Now, Chief Deputy Eric Holmes says deputies confirmed the 2 were dead. He tells us the deaths, they are not natural causes, and firearms were found in the home. The sheriff's office then called the county's detectives and other agencies to further investigate.
We did contact the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation to assist with processing the crime scene. There will be a post-examination conducted at the Montgomery County Coroner's Office, which will give us a little more information on what actually transpired here today, or hopefully it will.
Now, we know the homeowner was allowing those two men to live at her property, but this is not her primary home. Now, Chief Deputy Holmes says the two were roommates and friends. He also tells us investigators found no signs of any break-ins, and everyone has been cooperative with the authorities. We also know, though, there have been no previous incidents reported at this address. Now, Chief Deputy Holmes says there is no threat to public safety at this time, and multiple agencies, again, they are investigating, including the Ohio BCI. As soon as we learn anything new about this case, we'll let you know here on air, as well as online at Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Gwen, thank you. This Beaver Creek woman has now been indicted on 36 counts, including securities fraud and theft. 65-year-old Beverly Kirk, an insurance agent, is accused of soliciting her agency's clients to invest at least $235,000 into investments that were non-existent. Now, the indictment alleges Kirk used those investments for personal use. Kirk is in the Greene County Jail, set to be arraigned tomorrow.
For the first time, we're getting a look at dash cam and even body camera video of last week's police chase that ended at the Fairfield Commons Mall. Take a look at this. Dayton police say that incident started when two teen suspects stole a car. They then led police on a chase, stopping right outside of the entrance of the mall. The suspects then got out, running inside the mall, and after a quick search, police found them inside the Hollister store and arrested them.
Brookville local schools taking to social media today after one of their elementary buses was involved in a crash. Happened this morning. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to that crash just after 8 this morning. Initial investigations show that bus failed to yield to the right-of-way at the intersection of Upper Lewisburg, Salem, and number 9 roads. Now, it was hit by an oncoming car. 2 students were on the bus. Both were not hurt. The driver of the other car had minor injuries and was taken to the hospital.
A Centerville man has been sentenced to 6 years behind bars for possessing a machine gun. 23-year-old Alex Jax used the weapon during a YouTube video where he is threatening to commit a mass shooting at a California school. Search warrants also found more weapons and explosives inside his home. Now, he was arrested in November of 2022, pleading guilty last year. The court issued a higher than usual sentence for the case. He'll spend the next 72 months behind bars. Taking a live look now from our Eco Plumber Skycam over the Gem City. Some clouds moving into the Miami Valley. Let's send it out to Chief Meteorologist Natalie Walters.
Well, another warm one and a very warm start to the first day of May, making it up to 81 degrees, which is actually 10 degrees above our normal for the first day of May. Wanted to take a look at our normal high temperature to start out the month. 71 degrees, our normal high. By the end of the month, our average high climbs to 78 degrees. So definitely above normal for today. And of course, heading into the end of May, that only means warmer days to come as we start to feel a little bit more like summer. Meteorological summer begins on June 1st. Got 80s across the board, 80 in Dayton, 81 as you can see in Troy, 81 in Sydney right now. All of us a little warmer compared to this time yesterday. In fact, a lot warmer. And it's going to stay on the mild side overnight, dropping into the 50s as you wake up early tomorrow morning. But I am tracking some rain on the way for the end of the week. I'll have the timing coming up.
And Ohio senators said to be on former President Donald Trump's short list of VP candidates. Elise at the Now Desk, what do we know about this?
So, Adam, nothing has actually been officially decided yet, but we do know former President Donald Trump and Senator J.D. Vance are expected to fundraise in Cincinnati this month. Trump is going to be headlining an event on May 15th and will feature Vance as a special guest. The exact location hasn't been announced yet. Now, the money from the event will be going toward a joint fundraising committee that includes Trump's campaign, the RNC, and several state GOP groups. Vance is widely considered to be on the former president's short list for vice president.
A large encampment remains on the campus of the University of California, Los Angeles tonight after violent clashes overnight. Started when masked counter-protesters arrived on campus late Tuesday night to try and tear down the pro-Palestinian campers' barricades. Fireworks were thrown into the camp, objects thrown, pepper spray deployed. Some people were beaten with sticks. Now, police separated the groups, which include non-student agitators.
We do know for sure that there are non-UCLA students, community members who are present, that they have been present at previous counter-protester events as well.
Several people were injured. There's no count yet on how many arrests have been made. UCLA says the camp is unlawful and violates university policy.
Well, and while the protests on college campuses continue, high school students are making some big decisions. It is a National College Decision Day. However, many students are still in limbo because of all the issues with financial aid. Stephanie Chainock has been following this headache.
This year was the launch of what was supposed to be an easier FAFSA application for students to get done quicker and also apply for their financial aid for college. But errors made by the application and students being locked out of the application for weeks at a time has left millions of high school seniors across the country at a standstill. Now, as we reported 2 weeks ago, a lot of colleges and universities like OSU extending deadlines as a result of the FAFSA chaos to give students and families a little more time to submit their applications and wait for colleges to receive them and then send back their financial award offers. We spoke to local high school senior Emanuela Francique here in Columbus, who was still waiting to make her decision on a college after she says there were typos in the application that were confusing, and the fact that she was also unable to add colleges to her application despite completing the entire process the correct way.
I was really worried that I would be cutting really close to the deadline to say I'm going to go to this school. Already with the FAFSA process being delayed, I wanted to make sure that I was getting all of my financial award letters in a timely manner. And with that delay, I wasn't going to get that award letter.
Well, that was Stephanie Chainock reporting. The need for caregivers and support for those with developmental disabilities is growing here in the Miami Valley. Kasha Hancock spoke with the Montgomery County Board of Developmental Disabilities about this increase in need and what they're doing to combat the issue. Kasha.
The board works hard to assist those living with disabilities, making it their mission to provide them with services to live productive and rewarding lives. They work with all developmental disabilities, such as those with autism, Down syndrome, or intellectual disabilities. But to serve people in the best way, skilled, passionate workers are needed. The board tells me that they work strategically with clients to pair them with an agency that can provide services and resources to better their lives. Though it can be difficult at times to find a match, the board tries to use those opportunities to create solutions, but believes if more workers were in the field, it would help tremendously.
Being a caregiver is emotionally challenging at times. You are pouring your all into someone else, and everyone has their own things happening in life. So you have to always be looking out for that person as well as trying to take care of yourself. And sometimes that's hard for people.
From an agency I spoke with who serves people with disabilities about what they do and what they think will help get more caregivers in the field. Back to you.
Gotcha, thanks. Well, weed could soon be sold at medical dispensaries for recreational use. The concern now that the supplies for patients may be limited.
A quartet of area high school baseball teams getting a chance to play on a college stadium environment. Another day of the Reds Futures High School Showcase. I'll have a preview coming up.
And another warm day on the way, followed by some rain in the forecast too. I'll have the latest coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
It's been a foggy 24 hours in many places, from Rochester, New York, to a forest near Syracuse, and a valley near Chattanooga, Tennessee. This squall dumped rain and snow in western Montana, while this thunderhead or cumulonimbus produced a huge anvil cloud near Seattle. Meanwhile, a lonesome duck enjoys dawn along a quiet lake near Little Rock, Arkansas.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on TikTok.
We're just about a month away from when medical dispensaries could start selling marijuana products to everyone 21 and older. As those businesses prepare for the big change, existing patients tell us they're worried they're going to get left behind. Tonight, Kate Seifert bringing those patients' concerns right to the business.
We are getting a first look inside the Sunnyside dispensary in Licking County, Ohio. We're on the sales floor. You can see all of their products lined up here on the walls. This dispensary is one of many across the state of Ohio that is preparing for an influx of customers as we prepare for the sales to begin for recreational cannabis across the state. Right now, this dispensary only serving medical patients. But by this summer, they could open up their sales to anybody who wants to come and purchase recreational cannabis. So what does that mean for medical patients? We're learning here from the team at Sunnyside that they will still be able to have access to all of the product just like this that they are getting right now. The team here recommends ordering online for all customers to ensure they can get in and out quickly, once again, as they anticipate a lot of people coming to dispensaries just like this one over the next several months. Reporting in Columbus, I'm Kate Seifert.
Well, we have cloud cover increasing across the area. Front's just off to the north of us, and this is going to keep some clouds around and still some very small rain chances heading into the day tomorrow, but it's not until Friday we'll see our next weather maker make its way through, which will increase our rain chances significantly. So heading into the day tomorrow, overall a quiet day. Spot shower can't be completely ruled out, but it's by our Friday. This is about lunchtime. We'll start to see showers making their way into the area, mainly off to the west. I think a lot of the heavier precipitation should hold off until the late afternoon and evening, but even earlier into the day, can't rule out some rain. That rain continues through the rest of the evening, and then even into Saturday, scattered showers in the forecast. Still not a complete washout. I know this looks a little ominous, but I think most of the heavier rain will be off to the east, but I'll take a look at that 7-day coming up in a bit.
On the road right now in San Diego, but the Reds High School Showcase continues this week. Matt Digby live in Fairborn, where 4 area GWAC teams are playing tonight as part of the showcase. Matt?
Yeah, Adam, it's an exciting time for high school baseball because the Reds Futures High School Showcase, it's back for another year involving teams from multiple states, not just the Cincinnati area, but also teams in Kentucky, teams in Indiana, and even teams from Ohio. And right now, a game going on between Centerville and Wayne. The Elks taking advantage of opportunities, and the Elks are currently batting in the top of the 4th inning. They lead 9-0, and they're actually going to have this game, and then about a week and a half, they're going to have a chance to play as part of Big League Weekend at Great American Ballpark. They will be on the field at Great American. Now, Elks baseball fans might remember last year they had a game at Great American last year. That ended up getting rained out in about the 5th inning, so fingers crossed that the weather is more cooperative this year. But this is the 2nd day of games. There was one contest on Monday here at Nishwitz Stadium, but 2 games tonight. Centerville, they are just about to increase the lead to 10-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. And also coming up later this evening, Miamisburg and Springboro. Springboro right now tied for the lead in the GWAC with the Fairmont Firebirds. So a lot of great high school baseball coming up tonight. I'll have coverage of this tonight and also how the Reds are doing over in San Diego. That game's still in progress in Southern California. We'll send it back to the studio live in Fairborn. I'm Matt Digby.
Well, great evening for some baseball, even if you're heading out to Dayton Ballpark. They're playing home games over these next few days, and it's looking okay today, tomorrow. Pretty dry. 80s around first pitch, 70s through the rest of the evening. Just a really nice evening expected for us. And then we'll stay warm tomorrow. In fact, even warmer. Back into the mid-80s for our Thursday. Rain chances do return on Friday, so Friday, even into Saturday, small chances of rain in the forecast, upper 70s through the weekend, mid 70s starting off next week. We do have a fairly unsettled weather pattern kicking off by this weekend, and especially as we head into next week. So I'll take a look at those rain and thunderstorm chances coming up here in just a bit.
Take a short break. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Tonight is opening night of The Lion King at the Schuster Center. Tage Joshi shows us what the roar is all about.
Can you feel love tonight? And if you can, there's probably a reason why The Lion King, Disney's The Lion King, the musical is playing at the Schuster Center. Opening night is tonight. The first show is coming up very soon, about 7:30 this evening. But don't worry, if we're gonna miss tonight's show, there's a lot of other opportunities to see this show right here at the Schuster Center. Just take a look. Of course, right there is the load-in truck. That's just one of many load-in trucks, about 17 it took for them to bring this awesome show to the Schuster Center. Of course, there are so many amazing costumes, props, and puppets as a part of this show. Plus, they have specialty themed cocktails, cookies, and coffee drinks all here at the Schuster Center to get you ready to see this show. If you love that big energy of a show, maybe a kid-friendly show that you want to take your kids to, this could be the perfect one for you to come out to the Schuster Center and enjoy. You can go to their website, that's DaytonLive.org, to learn more about the exact show times and ticket opportunities. Plus, you can come right to where I am now, the Schuster Center, to learn more about box office opportunities and some available tickets. For now, though, my friends, back to you in the studio.
Well, if your allergies are acting up, then it may be the tree, or it likely is the tree pollen to blame for us. Everything else is fairly low as far as that pollen count, but trees actually very high. They didn't have very high as an option, but it is very high for that pollen count. I know lots of folks have been complaining that allergies are especially bad this year compared to others. So hopefully they start to calm